Hello everyone, this is Priyochan Adhikari and today I am here to talk about language of research. Without any further delay, let me continue with language of research. Firstly, the concept. The concept in research is a broad term that refers to an idea or theory that is explored, tested, and validated in research study. A concept can be driven from existing literature or generated from observation during the research process. It is usually the focus of the research and is starting point for research question, hypothesis, and methodologies. In order to ensure the concept is well defined and accepted by the research community, it must be carefully conducted or leading. So, further, construct. Constructs are theoretical constructs or concepts used in research to explain relationships and to help understand phenomena that have not been explained. Constructs are used to explain and measure abstract concepts such as attitudes, motivation, and emotions. They are usually created through quantitative research methods such as interviews, focus groups, and surveys. So, further, the language of research definitions or definition is there. So, what really definition is? Definition are statements that provide precise measures or description of a concept or terms used in research. Definition helps to ensure the same meaning is used by research and readers, thereby promoting accuracy and clarity within the research. Definition should be as precise and specific as possible, often providing an operational definition that describes the specific method or produces or procedures used to measure a particular concept or variable. So, further, theory. In research, a theory is an idea or concept that is used to explain a phenomena or explain why certain events occur or how certain processes take place. It is typically based on exciting or existing facts and evidence and is often tested through further research or experiments. A theory can be used to make predictions about what will happen in given situation. So the next is model. Model is an important part in language of research. In research, a model is a representation of system, process, or object that can be used to help understand and explain some aspects of real world. Models can be used to make predictions, help explain cause and effect relationship, and assist in decision making. Models can take many forms, including mathematical equations, physical replicas, computer stimulations, and conceptual diagrams. So, further, the most important part in a research, that is variables. In research, variables refers to any measurable factors that can change or influence the results or experiment or study. Variables are divided into four main categories: independent, dependent, mediating, and moderating. So, let me explain these variables one by one. This variable is an independent variable which is named x, and this variable is independent variable which is named y. The change in x is not influenced by any other variable, so it is an independent variable, whereas the change in y is somehow dependent in x, so this is a dependent variable. Further explaining mediating variable. Mediating variable is something that comes with an independent variable and dependent variable. As I explained what is independent and dependent variable before, so when an independent variable affects another variable and further that variable affects another variable z, it is the middle variable is known as mediating variable. So further, the last fourth type is moderating variable. So dependent independent variable and dependent variable, and somewhere in middle, similarly as Moderating variable appears. Moderating variable and meditating variable appear in middle, but moderating variables does not directly or indirectly affect these variables. So, for the describing after variables for the conceptual schema. So, in research, a conceptual schema is an abstract representation of a particular set of concepts and their relationship to each other. The purpose of conceptual schema is to provide an organized way of thinking about and understanding a particular body of knowledge. Conceptual schemas can be used to categorize information, identify patterns, and draw meaningful conclusions from data. So, this is an example of conceptual framework where independent variables or dependent variables are there. In middle, there can be moderating or mediating variables too. So, further, the last is hypothesis. In research, a hypothesis is an educated guess or an educated prediction about the outcome of experiment. A hypothesis is based on past research, observations, and exciting theories. Hypotheses are important in research because they provide a framework of testing and collecting data and from forming conclusions about the result. So there are basically two types of hypothesis, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So talking about null hypothesis, if there is no significant relationship between any two variables, then it is null hypothesis. Whereas if there is any significant relationship between hypothesis or variables, it is called alternative hypothesis. So a null hypothesis is written this in this pattern H0 and alternative hypothesis H1. Other if there are other alternative hypotheses H2, S3, H4, there is significant impact of one variable on Y. This is alternative hypothesis. Hope you have enjoyed the presentation and you have learned something from this. Thank you very much for staying with me till the end. Hope you liked my presentation and the information that I have provided. Thank you, everyone.